Now we found ourselves with this great property that we picked up at an excellent price, and we look around us and we see all these other companies now that are very successful. We've got, you've got Siona Minerals, you have, the Whabouchi project with Nemaska Lithium, Critical Elements. So there's actual mining that's happening, and they're going to start producing ore, and some of them are actually producing lithium already. So there's a bunch of exploration companies around, and now we find ourselves at ground zero with this fantastic property that we picked up, as I said, when it was very easy to pick up great property. So I'd say like the big district right now is in Quebec, and specifically one of the best ones is in the James Bay Iou-Itsi region. That region, is home to, like I said, the Nemaskas, the Sionas, a lot of these critical elements. You've got a lot of projects up there. And then recently there's, some companies you may have heard of, like Patriot Battery, Winsome Resources. I mean, these are stocks now that have 330 million market caps. Patriot is at 1.34 billion market cap, and they started at 20 cents, and now they're $14. And Winsome's started around 30 cents, and they're at $2. So you really have to be in the right district and the right trend in order to find the lithium. So being surrounded by all of these companies that have found it and proven out resources, and some of them actually in production, is important that you're in the right space. So we're there.
Dean, let's get into some details about the Pontax project, the lithium project that you have. If you can share some details, a little bit about the history of the project and why you and your partners are so excited about its potential.
Yeah, so the project that we have is called the Pontax Central, and it's basically a large pegmatite. And what happened was we drilled a number of holes, and every one of those holes had hit spodumene. So we were very encouraged by that. We did some holes in 2017, some in 2020. The results were consistent with the neighborhood and this type of geology. And so from there, we decided that perhaps what we should do is, find a partner who has experience, they understand pegmatites. And so we looked and we figured out that, the world's best explorers, let's say, of lithium in hard rock are located in Western Australia. So we did a deal with a Western Australian company and brought them in. Basically, there's 700 meters of strike so far and continuing. We've got a number of holes that have been drilled into that with the fall program. We also did a winter program that our partners had completed. And so we're excited about it because it never really got enough drilling and had the attention to the geology as required. So every hole that we hit was great, but they were shallow holes because we weren't sure. And now that we hit on those shallow holes and we have the partner, we're going to be drilling underneath those existing shallow holes at depth to see what we're going to come up with. And we have 3 drill rigs, presently drilling, and we should have a lot of assays coming back from the fall program where they drilled an additional 14 holes, and we've only released 2 of those. So the project has a lot of merit. We're very excited. Our partners are extremely excited about the project to get these drill results back. And one of the things that I would say the most exciting part is that we're only drilling the actual major outcrop pegmatite on this program. But really what's happening is if you look at some of the other companies that have hit it out of the ballpark, they were getting their biggest intervals and their best intersections when they drilled off of that. And so we haven't even started to do that. But with the funding in place and the drill program, we're super excited to see what's going to come out.
Okay, so Dean, let's break it down for a layman audience, people who don't know anything about drilling. So here's what we know so far, right? You're in the right neighborhood, right? You got, projects. I mean, you have stocks that have been exploding based on, going into production based on, the lithium that they have. Now, what validates, I believe, and we're going to dive into the details of what you have, the history of the project, but to me, kind of what validates that what you have has some upside potential is that, you have a partner that came in and is putting up real money, right? So these guys, Cygnus, so they have experience in this type of, this kind of this pegmatite, right? This is their specialty. These guys have some track record. And how much are they putting up basically to have a partnership in your project?
So we did an earn-in with Cygnus, and basically the way that it works is that they would give us $3 million. They've already given us $1 million. They'd give us $3 million. They would spend $4 million in exploration, which they're plowing through pretty aggressively. They had 18 months, but it's been about 6 or 7, 8 months, and they're already going through. As I said, they have 3 drill rigs going. And I think that's kind of the Australian way. They're very aggressive about drilling, and that's kind of what you need in this type of a deposit. And then they can earn another 19% by giving us another 3 million and spending another 6 million on the project. So from them, they're hoping to have something out by June, July, to have an actual resource estimate of some sort. So we're excited because
July. So the catalyst is basically that. So that's the big catalyst. June, July. We're in March. We're in almost mid-March. So we're a couple of months away from potentially a significant catalyst. So the market cap right now is based on the current price, roughly around $5 million, $6 million the current valuation, right? Some of your neighbors are trading at huge multiples of that. What are the let's talk about the comps. Like, what's different? Like, what's the difference between what you have and what some of the other guys around you have? Why are they trading significantly higher than you are? Like, what's the difference between their project and your the stage of development, or what? From a layman's perspective.
Yeah, I would say through a layman's perspective is, again, like, we've only started drilling, so it's at the beginning, and so there's a lot of assays still to come back. And I think it's just a matter of it's there, we're hitting it. It's just when you hit that interval that's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, as soon as you hit those intervals, then that's where you really see the catalyst, and you need to spend money and you need to be aggressive, and that's what our partners are doing. And if you look at, like, your companies, like I mentioned earlier, like Patriot Battery or Winsome Resources, as soon as they hit that one interval, then the stock just skyrocketed and continues to. So I think it's that's really what there's always a gamble in anything, but the educated gamble is on the skill sets of your operator and that they're funded to be able to do it. So it's really about, do you have enough money to spend, and are you going to put the money into the ground? And we have that. So I think that's the catalyst for us, is that we have both of those in place.
Okay, so they're going to be spending, Cygnus is going to be spending $4 million on this project over the next almost the next roughly year, and they're halfway through. Like,
they've already, I would say that they're very close to eclipsing the 4 million already. So they had 18 months, but they decided, like, it's amazing. You see some of these other companies, they have 1 drill rig going. Okay, some have 2. Cygnus has 3, because, again, I think it's the Australians have something unique about them, is that they understand that
time is money. They know time is money. I appreciate that, by the way. I appreciate companies when there's a sense of urgency, because a lot of these guys, they think, oh, it's forever. Like, no, the time is money. Especially, I mean, for investors, like, I want to see companies putting out, the winners who have had all those stocks that took off 10x or more. It's because they understood time is money, and the news, the milestones all happened in a compressed window. Like, we don't want to see these results drag out over 5 years. We want to see it happen in 3 months or 4 months. So I'm getting the sense that these guys are basically have 3 drill rigs on the ground drilling, and we're going to be seeing results. When are we going to be seeing these drill results, by the way?
Yeah, I think the results will be coming out anytime. I mean, they should be coming back shortly. We had a fall program. There's 12 assays that we're still waiting for out of 14 just from the fall program, which is complete. And then they've had these 3 drill rigs that we brought in from the winter road that have just been going, nonstop. So we should have drill results right up for another 4, 5, 6 months. And I'm an investor, so I started off in this company being an investor. I have experience in helping a gold mining company get sold in the past. But really, like, as an investor, I want to see momentum. So, it's nothing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're on the same page.
Yeah, it's like I see companies I've invested in, and I feel it's almost like a vehicle going up, a mountain, and then they stop at some point halfway, and there's no drilling, and their stock price goes up, and then it creeps back, it creeps back, it creeps back. They get back to where they were, and then they put some gas in and start it up again. But what I like about these guys is that I think that you really need to just go out, have the money, have the gumption to just go out and drill and get a resource going and continue it and follow it up. And I think that's what we're excited about, is because we want to see where are we going with this, how fast is it going to go, and then from that, you know, there's just a continuation that builds. So as you get drill results, and if you like what you come, you just keep going and going and going.